Today, a judge denied a plea agreement for a now former Lee Summit daycare operator accused of failing to report abuse at her facility. Her son, Joseph Hammerly, who is accused of molesting a child at the daycare, is charged with 2 counts of statutory sodomy. Emily Hammerly is charged with felony child endangerment and a misdemeanor crime of failure of a mandated reporter to report child abuse. KCTV5's Emily Rittman spoke with one of the victim's fathers about the judge's decision. Emily?
Brad, the father says he is relieved that the judge denied the plea agreement. We are concealing the father's identity to protect his child's privacy. The father says he is also very grateful for the outpouring of support that the victims and their families have received from the community. More than 5,000 people signed a petition asking the judge to deny the plea agreement.
Justice for kids!
Today, protesters chanted "Justice for Kids" as Emily Hammerly left the courthouse with her defense attorney. Judge Kenneth R. Garrett III heard victim impact statements from relatives of the children, including a father who says Joseph Hammerly molested his daughter and Emily Hammerly failed to do her duty as a mandated reporter to report the suspected abuse. He says Emily Hammerly then allowed her son, Joseph Hammerly, to work his entire shift the day after the reported abuse near the victim and other children, so it didn't appear like Joseph Hammerly was, quote, hiding from anything. The Jackson County Prosecutor's Office released a statement today that said in part, quote, the plea agreement scheduled this morning in the Emily Hammerly case was offered in the hopes of limiting the 3 child victims' courtroom testimony to 1 case, not 2, end quote. The victim's father says now that his trust in the prosecutor's office has eroded, he asked prosecutors to request a special prosecutor from the Missouri Attorney General's office.
So I think it's inappropriate for the prosecution to want to hold on to the case. We've asked the Missouri AG to step in. They said that they need to get the request directly from the prosecution or the judge. So we've asked the prosecution, please request as the Missouri AG, recuse yourself from these responsibilities so that us parents can be sure we get a fair trial.
A spokesperson for the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office says at this point they have no plans to request a special prosecutor because they say there is no legal basis to do so. Emily Hammerly is scheduled to be back in court for a pretrial conference on July 29th. Joseph Hammerly is scheduled to go to trial on July 26th. Stay with us for updates. Reporting live, Emily Rittman, KCTV5 News.
Thanks, Emily.